Okay, with your object still present along the stage, make sure it's selected. What we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this object. So what we need to do here is we need to go to Edit. Now you could very easily duplicate the object as it is, and when you duplicate an object, it'll be duplicated or copied in the exact location that the object was placed. So if you copy an item, you may notice that it looks like there's nothing present, but what it actually is, it's currently selected and it's placed in the exact location of the previously copied object. So just make sure that you move your item immediately as soon as it's copied so that you can acknowledge that it is there. In our case here, that's for manual duplicating and manipulation, but in this case they're going to want you to use the duplicate special option and its options here. They have something a little more specific in mind. Okay, so from here you have the translate fields. They're not labeled, but it's like X, Y, and Z. Same thing goes for rotate, scale. Same options that you have here in the channel inspector. In our case, if we take a look at the manual here, they have a series of items that are listed. See, translate. Now what they fail to mention or place in these instructions is the commas. This here is a section for one field. This here is a section for another field. And this here is a section for a separate field. So don't go placing these numbers all into one field. This is one field here, second, third. Some are a little more obvious than others, but as you can see here, they don't put commas or spacers between them. I don't know why, but okay. So this first section calls for 0, 1, and 0. So leave that field as it is, type 1 here, and 0. So that's good for translate. Because what this is going to do, it's going to translate this one section along the y-axis. If I wanted to translate this in other directions, I would enter values within these fields here, but they just simply want to copy the base and move it up slightly. They're also going to want to leave the rotating fields as they are, rotate 0, 0, 0, so you can just leave that as it is. They don't want it to rotate, but they will want the object to scale subtly. So in each field here, you type 0.9, you leave the center field as 1, and then you type 0.9 in the last field there. So 0.9, 1, and 0.9. Then under geometry type, you should see that up here. You're going to want to set that to copy, and then group under parent. And then I hit duplicate special. So you see, according to the translate settings, it moved it up 1 unit, and according to the scaling, let me activate that window again, duplicate special, because my last settings will be present within the duplicate special options. So the 1 translated the object, so it moved up 1 increment, and then the scale, I mean, obviously we didn't rotate it, so it stayed in the same location that it started at, and the scale was 0.9 along the x-axis and 0.9 along the z-axis, but nothing along the y. If we scaled it along the y, it would have shrunk, like this. So just as an example, I'm going to select my shape. I'm going to type 0.9 in the field too, and hit apply. And it got smaller. It's it subtly shrunk the piece, or scaled it, I should say. As long as you hit apply, it's going to continue to duplicate the object, translate it, and scale it, so I could continue to make a series of steps or shapes along those lines. See, it's getting a little bit messed up there because of the scaling option, but I'm sure you get my point. If you have a repeating element that you wish to continue to manipulate using those settings, oops, went a little too far, you could use that option to do that. I'm going to close this out because they're not going to need it anymore. Last thing this section covers is saving your items. Remember to save your items constantly. In fact, learn the keyboard shortcuts. Just Command and S. I'm going to save my scene. In your case, I want you to label it. Actually, I need to go to scenes. Scripts. There we go. Right here under file type, I'm going to type my first name, last initial, and tempo. Version 1. It's always good to have multiple versions of the same document. You never know when one might be corrupted, or if you go beyond the point of repair for your object, you can always go back to the previous section where you have a more usable document. So save that. Then when I modify my object, I'm going to save it again, save it as version 2, version 3, version 4. So these files are going to be saved in steps as I progress.